Well, we've talked a lot about Mandalorian and Grogu. Of course, you have to when it's a new Star Wars movie, the first Star Wars movie coming to movie theaters in almost 7 years. And it's based on a pretty popular, pretty successful Disney Plus series. Let's not talk about season 3, which was not so good and not so great. The initial reactions were pretty good to mixed. The full reviews came out, which are pretty good to mixed. I think the last I checked, it's sitting at a 62% on Rotten Tomato, which is a positive score. People who like it don't seem to love it. The people who don't like it don't seem to outright hate it. So it's kind of in the middle there. We also talked a few weeks ago about the fact that the long-term box office projections said it ran the risk of possibly becoming the lowest opening weekend for any Star Wars movie of the Disney era. And now, just days away from its release, I'm going to go see it tomorrow. The final box office projections are in, and this is according to Deadline. They're saying it's going to come in at $80 million. Now, just to have some perspective here, most movies would love to have an $80 million opening weekend. There haven't been a lot of movies that have had over an $80 million weekend all year so far. That's a good number. But you also have to keep in mind this piece of context, that the lowest opening weekend from any Star Wars movie of the Disney era is Solo: A Star Wars Story. That ended up having, I believe, an $85 million opening weekend. And should the Mandalorian and Grogu come in at this number, at $80 million, it will officially make it the lowest grossing one they've ever had. Now look, I don't know that I've ever said they should never have done a Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Maybe I have said that, I'm not sure. But here I am the day before it comes out. I don't know that I'd say today that they should never make a Mandalorian movie. I mean, after all, it's a pretty successful television show other than third one. The big thing to me, the stickler has been, how can you make this the first re-entry into the movie theaters in almost 7 years? I almost feel like they should have really just pushed this project back until after Starfighter comes out. Because if this thing comes out and it's getting, let's call them modest. It's getting modest reviews, modest reactions, and maybe it has a modest box office. Does that not hinder at least a little bit the momentum you're trying to build up to Starfighter? Wouldn't you want to give Starfighter a better fighting chance than to put out a modestly well-received, modest resulting Star Wars movie? Because does this Mandalorian and Grogu, which by the way, of that $80 million, I am probably going to be personally responsible for $20 million of that, because we're doing 18 screenings of it in the next week and a half for movie meetups. By the way, looking forward to seeing all you guys in Columbus, New York, Boston, and Toronto soon. So yeah, look, not surprised to hear this. I'm sure the reactions and the initial reviews that have now come out are not helping the numbers. It's probably brought the numbers down a little bit. Because remember, they were also saying in those early projections, it could be as high as 95 million. But it sounds like the excitement is tempered. It's come down a bit. I really liked, for the record, I really liked the first 17 minutes. They showed us the first 17 minutes of it at CinemaCon, and I really enjoyed it. It wasn't the best thing I saw at CinemaCon, but I thought it was quite good. So I don't know. We'll see about this. We want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Pocket Hose. Guys, I'm excited to tell you about the world's #1 expanding garden hose and their brand new product, the Pocket Hose Ballistic. As you guys can imagine, I'm not exactly gentle with my gear. I drag hoses across concrete over the pool, yank them around corners. I even coil and uncoil them all the time to put them in my camper van when I go out on my movie meetups. And generally speaking, a lot of them don't last. But the Pocket Hose Ballistic has been a totally different story for me. It's incredibly durable, super lightweight, and just makes the whole job easier. One of my favorite things is how simple it is to use. You turn the water on, it expands. Turn it off, it shrinks right back down to pocket size. And it's reinforced with a liquid crystal polymer, the same kind of material used in bulletproof vests. Plus, it comes with the pocket pivot, which gives you 360-degree rotation at the spigot so it moves with you instead of fighting against you. And now, for a limited time, when you purchase a new Pocket Hose Ballistic, you'll get a free 360-degree rotating pocket pivot and a free thumb drive nozzle. Just text Campea to 64,000. That's CAMPEA to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. Text Campea to 64,000. Message and data rates may apply. Rob, do you think it'll hit that $80 million mark? Do you think that's underestimating how much it makes? And is it a big deal if it ends up being the lowest opening weekend of the Disney era for a Star Wars film?
First of all, to me, this is a glorified TV movie. And I don't think it's fair that we qualify it or quantify it in the same breath as every other previous Star Wars movie. Because this really is, it's TV characters, it's made with a television mindset. I mean, I understand that they wanted to make it for the big screen or whatever, but it's certainly not giving us, if the story was different, it's episodic. It looks to me like they took a number, look, I haven't seen it, but judging from what people have been saying about this film, it looks like they took developing scripts, 3 or 4 of them, and put them together as one movie. And I'm like, I get it. That's what you do. You know, you spend a lot of money developing scripts, and why not? You already have this material. You string it all together. John Favreau, great. Why not do it? I think it's a mistake. I think it's always been a mistake to do this movie. I think it diminished the overall brand, because what you've done now is you've muddied the waters. I didn't like when Clone Wars came out, the animated Clone Wars. Clone Wars hadn't debuted.
The series or the movie?
The movie.
Yeah, that was terrible.
The movie, yeah. And that was they were trying to muddling what was a TV show and putting it out, and I thought that was a mistake too. I think that what this has done is it has muddied the water of Star Wars as a theatrical brand. I just don't think it and judging from what we've heard from everybody, maybe I'll just love it. But even when we watched the first 17 minutes at CinemaCon, I thought they were good. You know, they were fine. But to me, it didn't have the scope. It didn't have the feel of a theatrical, the origins. And maybe I'm just bringing my own prejudices into it. But I just don't think that this movie is of that caliber, because it is a TV show. I mean, even the character of Grogu, to me, on the big screen, looks like just... Yoda never looked like a puppet to me. Not in Empire and Jedi. Not until The Phantom Menace did Yoda look like the coloring or whatever, the way it was shot, video, whatever. I mean, it was a shot video in Phantom Menace, but this just doesn't have a feature film feel to me. And I think it's a mistake, and they'll be lucky to make $80 million.
By the way, I saw somebody say this earlier, and I'm not saying I necessarily agree, but I do think it's worth bringing up. If this movie is as modest as we think, you know who wrote this movie? John Favreau and Dave Filoni wrote it. And you know, when they announced that Dave Filoni, who has had now years of experience in the executive offices, I thought maybe now was the right time to promote him to the co-CEO role of Lucasfilm. But his live action track record to me is iffy. I did not like Ahsoka at all. I hope season 2 will be better, because I really like Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka. We're having to go into Mandalorian Grogu with tempered expectations. And my fear is, and it might be unjustified at this point, all right? I'm totally keeping an open mind, but I'm just saying it's at least worth bringing up that, you know, Dave Filoni and John Favreau wrote this. And if these are kind of going to be the guys behind the creative controls of where we're going from here, at this point, is that concerning? I don't know. And listen, I might come out of Mandalorian and Grogu tomorrow going, I don't know what the hell the rest of you are smoking. That was great. And maybe I will. Maybe I'll love it and go, yes, the future is bright. But for now, from the perspective of having not seen the movie, is this dangerous foreboding from what might be the future of Lucasfilm? I don't know. It might be way too early to say something like that, though.
But I just still think it's a TV show that was put on the big screen, but it wasn't put on the big screen with a big screen mentality. It still has the TV show. They should have been able to take these characters and move them into a theatrical kind of a film. It's never felt theatrical to me. It's never felt like a movie.
They basically came out saying the fourth season got scrapped.
Right.
We had this. This is basically, we still wanted to put it out to audience. So producers sort of in the background murmured that this was just a TV show going out, but they wanted to like put it out for audiences. But
it could have been a Disney Plus premiere.
I think we asked this question before, but I want to ask it again. I wonder, I don't have an answer for this. I'm just saying, I wonder how different would the excitement level, the buzz level, the anticipation level, the event feeling of it level be if Mandalorian season 3 didn't exist?
Like, so you're coming right off of Skywalker.
We get the end of Mandalorian season 2. The last thing we had was Luke coming and taking Grogu away.
Yeah.
And we never get that subpar season 3.
Oh, I think it's night and day.
Yeah, like where's the excitement level then? Maybe it's a totally different game at that point.
Well, I just think that this, the episodic nature of this movie, the fact that you have these different quests, and somebody said probably astutely, the whole movie feels like a side quest. This needed a movie storyline, one big epic story, not a story that has 5 or 6 different big vignettes within it. You needed to give us a movie storyline,
which I can't say they haven't because I haven't seen the movie yet. Like
I'm just going by the early reviews and what people are saying, but something big, something big. The scope of the story needed to be something we haven't seen before.
Techniques in the live chat saying Mandalorian, the DLC, the downloadable. That's actually shockingly accurate. To what this
in a way, it really is.
Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? They're now saying, as we're heading into the opening of Mandalorian, which opens in theaters everywhere tomorrow, is now targeting $80 million. Do you think it'll be lower than that? Maybe you think it'll come in a lot higher than that. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.